Hello and welcome back to Wood Green. Train's just coming in now. At least I hope it's my train. I forgot to look at the number. So let's just go and confirm. Yep. My train.
This is Wood Green where this train terminates. All change fees, all change. Bus replacement services are in operation upstairs. Please follow the way out. And Stapleton, great.
Right, let me call the driver. Hello mate, you alright? Yeah, no worries mate, take it easy. Cheers Kevin, bye. Right, so he's staying on. Right, I'm a bit disorganised, so I'm going to need that. I'm going to turn you around. I haven't got the mount at the moment. I'm just going to screw you on. Hello, hello. There we go. Right. Sorry about that. I am disorganised. I need some keys. There's one key. Oh. Get this set up. Where's this train going? Rayners Lane. So hello, and sorry for that. Oh, let me get you. That's about as straight as you're going to get. Welcome to Wood Green Sidings again. What cab? 156. Let me just fill out my book. So it's a Tuesday. We just had bank holiday, that's why I'm confused of what I'm doing. We're Wood Green, we are 11 minutes past 8 in the evening. So we're just waiting for the shunt out onto the platform. This train's going to Rayners Lane, but I am not. I'm getting off at Acton. Just having a look. I might have a break at Acton actually. I meant to have my break at Northfields, so I might jump off Acton then head down to Northfields. I'll pick up at Northfields then a bit later. Go to Terminal 5, back here. I'm not coming back in the sidings on this video. I will be getting off on the east, hopefully. So I'm going to take you with me. I will probably split this into a two-part video, purely because it's not going to be a long video, but I think if I mentioned I need a new computer with more memory, so 2-hour video, which this probably will be a bit too long for me to try and upload to the computer. So yeah, I might do it down to T5. Obviously I'll be getting off Acton for break and then do the last bit back and do it as a two-part, but we'll see how things go. A lot can go wrong between then and now. So we're not due off the platform for about 4 minutes or so, so that's not too bad. So yes, welcome. We still have the engineering works, so if you've not seen my other videos, no service between Wood Green and Cockfosters in both directions. By the time this video comes out, it should be the last weekend of these engineering works. I think we've got more coming up. I'm not sure what sort of blockades we've got. But yeah, there will be more engineering works, I am sure. Whether it's, I would imagine there are more weekends than this has been for, or this will be for 16 days in total, as long as they don't overrun. Don't know why we're still sat here. By my watch, we should have been out of there by now. Oh. So just to give you an idea, if we had to leave a train in here, oh, it's gone now. If we had to leave the train in here, they would have to turn power off and we'd have to walk out. And I'm guessing we'd walk out to one of the platforms. So the road on the right is where we've just come from. We're going this way, which is westbound. Track on the far left is what would come from Bounds Green Arnos Grove Way, and we're just normal westbound platform. Just coming in a little bit slower just because of the sidings and the curve. We will stop just there. Right, set the DVA off. There we go. Okay. Actually, my watch, yeah, we are bang on time actually. I'll let them off. So we're due out in about 1 minute, give or take. So that red signal, that's what we call a station starter. You might hear me refer to it as a signal on, means it's red, which I'm sure you know is a stop signal or a danger signal. And there is a train stop. It might not come out on the camera, just to the right hand of the running rail, a little white bar that sticks up, and if we was to pass that, it would hit an arm that's sticking down from the side of the train, would release all the air in the brakes and bring the brakes on. Trains, if you didn't know, we use air to keep the brakes off, so that if we lose air, the brakes would automatically come on. Otherwise, if it was the other way round, you could end up with a runaway train if you used air to put brakes on. That makes sense. I think a lot of lorries and trucks work the same way. Oh, bear with me a moment. Are you getting on? Yeah, they work the same way, that they use air to keep the brakes off, so if they run out of air, brings the brakes on. If you didn't know. Every day's a school day. Heading down to Turnpike Lane. Now, as we go down here, I've never talked about these, you'll see some triangles. There's one on the left there, it says number 3, and then it'll go 4. Now, I was told that these were put here as an experiment. The idea being, if there's an issue, these will tell you which way your nearest station is. So at number 7 there, the arrow's pointing down, tells you to go back. Just at this one here, we're in the middle, and now, if we had an issue, it's telling us to go forward, that's the nearest station. How true that is, I don't know. They're only in this section between Wood Green and Turnpike Lane, east and westbound. I don't know if they're on any other lines, so that's what I was told they were there for when I started driving, but it's not something we use. Although, to be fair, if I had to detrain an emergency in the tunnel, I would use them to know which is the nearest station, so it is handy. On the wall you can see a red square with a T in it and a white cross. That's to tell you the tunnel, telephone and or associated wires are not working. We used to use them for turning off traction, so that's the power, and contacting signaller or controller, but now we've got radios and things like that, they're not needed. I think most of them have been deactivated, or if they're faulty, been removed completely. But that's what that means. But we have train radios, also got personal radios as well. So the wires within the tunnel, what you used to do is pinch them together. There was 2 wires that would turn off the power, or we used to carry a telephone handset. You'd hook it up onto the 2 wires, that would cut power and go direct through to the control room or signaller. Not sure which, I never used them. But all the telephones have been removed from the trains. It's not something we use, so that's what that means. I'm sure eventually they'll remove them boards once they update the rule books, because I think the rule books still show or still tell you can turn off power by using the telephone and or wires. If that makes sense to you all. So next stop is Manor House. We're just going uphill slightly, then the track's going to go round to the left and then round to the right towards Manor House. Now if everything's running normally, because we're running an amended timetable, we should be around 6 or 7 minutes apart each train. So the only red signals we should see are regulation points. But of course, you can see a red anywhere if a signal's failed. But we shouldn't be slowed down by a train unless there's an issue and we catch up with the train in front. So we've just gone round to the left, just after this signal, or by this signal it goes round to the right. And then I think there's 2 or 3 signals before the platform. Going uphill, you won't be able to notice it, but I can see it even in full power. The speedo was dropping, so I'm doing about 35. It's dropping down to almost 30 now. I'm just going to brake. And into the platform. Of course, when you come into a platform, you need eyes in the back of your head, because not only do you need to make sure there's no one on the track, you also need to be mindful of what's going on the platform as well. And it can be easy to get, pardon the pun, tunnel vision and focus on someone that's maybe acting strange on the platform, and you might miss something on the track or somebody. So we call it PTI, it's the platform train interface. So basically where the train meets the platform, the most dangerous part of the job, is where most accidents happen. But not at this station anyway, we're all good. Finsbury Park. Now some people have asked me for a shout out, and I was meant to make a list. Problem is I forgot to make the list, so I will try and remember to do it on my break, and if you've asked for a shout out, hopefully I'll add it in later in the video. I tend to take a screenshot when anyone asks me, so as long as I can find all those screenshots, I will mention it. All I say is, if you've asked me recently in the last week or 2 and I've not mentioned you in this video, just drop me another message and I'll try to include you in another one. So it's 3 signals just before the platform. They should all be clear. There's signal 1, signal 2 you'll see in a second, and then signal 3 just before the platform. Finsbury Park, change for the Victoria Line and National Rail upstairs. It's a regulation point, so we often get held here for time. So you'll see we've got 2 signals there. The bottom signal is a coacting, so it just copies the top signal, and they're adding lots of those ready for the new trains, because I believe visibility is not as good on the new trains. We won't necessarily be able to see all the normal signals, so they're adding ones at a lower level. At least that's my understanding of it. We are being held at a red signal. Be on the move again shortly. Thank you. Ah, there we go. So we've got a 25 mile an hour speed limit coming up. Go on, I'll let you on. I'm feeling nice today, don't know why. Arsenal is next. On the left you'll see a gap between the tunnels, and that's the Victoria line. There is a crossover there, that's mainly for engineering trains. Test train operators can use it as well if they want to take a Vic Line train. We've got a bit of a test track on the local between Northfields and Acton, eastbound local. They can put water on the tracks to test the brakes and things. I think there's a Central Line train down that way at the moment that's been tested, or certainly was in the last couple of weeks anyway. Arsenal. I keep getting asked to film here when Arsenal are at home. It is something I will try and do, but like a lot of things, it's just about timing. I need to be on the right duty on the right day, have my camera with me, etc. But I will get it at some point. Although you're not able to see too much, just lots of people. Oh dear. Holloway Road is next. What I didn't film actually, because I was with another driver, is I have taken the bus from the rail replacement bus from Cockfosters down to Wood Green. The traffic was very busy today, probably took 40-45 minutes today, but luckily I'd given myself about an hour and 20 minutes to get down, so I had plenty of time. And I'll be doing the same. I'll be taking the rail replacement bus from Wood Green back to Cockfosters. I think I'm due to get off just before 12:30 tonight. I forget the exact time, but we won't quibble. And generally I find the buses are about 25 minutes to get back at night. You don't have the traffic. And they're roughly every 10 minutes. So this is Holloway Road. Next stop, Caledonian Road. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I know a lot of people have commented and say they like the longer two-part videos. I'm not saying I'm always going to do two-part videos, but maybe it's something I can look at doing more of in the future. We'll have to see how things go. So next stop is King's Cross. Now on my, I think it's going to be my last video, but the last two-part video where I included Wood Green anyway, just in case this doesn't follow it, I was reading out what lines you can change for at King's Cross, and for some reason I didn't even notice it. Even when I was editing I didn't notice. I said Central Line. Central Line doesn't go from there, and I know that. It goes from Holborn. Sometimes when I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, I say the wrong thing, because I'm an idiot. But just to clarify, in terms of tube lines, going through King's Cross, St Pancras, you've got Piccadilly Line, Northern Line, Victoria Line, Circle Line, Hammersmith and City Line, and Metropolitan Line. Just to clarify, yeah, apologies about that. Would you believe if I said I did that just to see if you all were listening? No, I wouldn't believe it either. We've also got National and International Rail, but we're not going to go into that today, mainly because I can't be bothered. So we've got a 30 mile an hour speed limit just before this next signal. Just coming up on the right hand side, just there. We're going to come there when I can speak. Going to come past Down Street. No, we're not. See, I'm at it again. York Road Disused Station, even, is on the right hand side now. Now the end of the 30 mile an hour speed limit is just around this corner, and then we're going to be going downhill. Then there'll be lots of signals ahead. They should be green, there should be one yellow in the middle, which you lot won't be able to see on camera. Sorry, I keep trying to come up with a new name instead of you lot. My fellow online passengers. So that's changed anyway, so we're clearing the platform, but we are downhill. There is a 35 mile an hour limit, speed limit, in the middle of these signals, but because it's downhill, it's round a corner, it can be a busy platform. Generally I'm doing about 30 miles an hour. So 35 mile an hour is just there on the right. So the next train is at Heathrow Terminal 5, and it's 4 minutes behind. So King's Cross, St Pancras, it is a regulation point. You see we've got a red signal there, so regulation means if we are running early, the signal system will hold us to time. The signal operator can also manually hold us to time here, or they could just ring us and say, driver, can you give me an additional 2 minutes, for argument's sake. But because there's extra time built into this timetable, I'm guessing we're just, or was, regulated. This train is now ready to depart. Please mind the closing doors. Mind the doors. Oh, if they get on the train with their luggage, they get off the train. They get on again. Maybe they knew it was me and thought they would take the train after all. Russell Square is next. So if you are enjoying this video and you haven't already, please subscribe, share, like, comment. Even if this video isn't necessarily for you, I do have some other things coming up. So I announced on Facebook yesterday, if you don't follow me on Facebook, it's Dale Charman Travels, and I announced on there so I'm just trying to work this out. So next week, today is Tuesday, so next Monday I am taking the Caledonian Sleeper, which is the sleeper train from London to Edinburgh, as long as it's not cancelled. I'll be then taking LNER train in first class straight back to London, and then rather than me travel back home, let me get stopped on here first. yeah, so rather than me travel back home, I'm in London, it makes sense to just go to Heathrow and jump on a flight. So again, they are booked but subject to any changes or cancellations. I'll be jumping on Cathay Pacific from Heathrow to Hong Kong in economy, and that'll be on the A350 if you are a bit of an av geek. Because I've only got a few days off, I'll be in Hong Kong for one night. Then I'll be taking Thai Airways Dreamliner, I think it is, between Hong Kong and Bangkok, business class. And then I'll be taking again Thai Airways business class on the 777 from Bangkok. Wait for that screeching to stop. Down to Frankfurt, because it was cheaper for me to go into Frankfurt. That's in business class. And then I probably won't record the last bit. I'll just jump in on a economy British Airways flight back to London. Then, so that'll be the beginning of September, depending when this video comes out. Towards the end of September, I'll be heading off to New York with British Airways on the 777 in first class. I'm only in New York for a few days, and I'll tell you what I'm doing in a moment. This is Holborn, by the way. So I'm in New York, I think it's for 3 nights. Again, I don't have much time off from work. Staying somewhere near Times Square. And then I'm going to be taking, I think it's the Megabus from New York down to Washington DC. Got like 3 or 4 hours in Washington DC. And then I'm taking the Acela train, so that's Amtrak Acela, back up to New York into Penn Station in business class. I was going to do first class, but it was a bit expensive. And then I'll be flying back with British Airways in business class. But on there, at the moment it's on the 777, but their old business class configuration. A few weeks later, I'll be going back to New York in economy with British Airways, which I won't film. I'll be going with my nephew. I might film a couple of little bits whilst I'm there, but in terms of full videos, I'm not going to be doing that. That's more of a holiday. And then at the moment, I'll be in Bangkok at the end of January next year, again with my nephew. I will record a few bits. Probably won't record the flight because it'll be economy with British Airways. Again, I'll just probably record a few little bits, but not full videos, just so you can all see what I'm up to. So that's what I've got coming up at the moment, plus whatever I can record here. That pretty much takes us to the end of the year. I do have 1 week leave that I've not booked anything for yet, so we'll see if I do anything that week, or whether I just take a week's holiday somewhere hot and sunny, or what I do. Haven't decided yet. So yeah, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss those videos once they are uploaded. And this is Covent Garden. I mean, nattering on, as always. Leicester Square is next, which is just past that second signal in the distance. These 2 first greens, that's the same signal. It's just a coacting one. So Leicester Square. I'm using a lot more off and release today than I do normally. brakes are just a little bit softer than I would like, so I'm just taking it that little bit easier. Piccadilly Circus will be next. Now, apologies when you see me on the video, I look a bit of a mess at the minute. I need to have a shave, trim my beard, cut my hair, what's left of it. But I'm trying to leave it, do it just before I go away. So I'll do it later this week. So yeah, apologies if I look a bit rough. Piccadilly Circus. Means I've got to make an announcement about the lift once the DVA is finished. This is a Piccadilly line service to Rayners Lane. I'd just like to remind passengers, due to lift maintenance work, there's currently no step-free access from the Piccadilly line at Green Park. This is until approximately in November of this year. Lovely jubbly. So looking at the board, the trains are all about 5 minutes apart at the moment. So we've got, I'm not saying there's exactly half of the trains, but roughly half of the fleet are stuck at Cockfosters. Because they've taken up all the track and replacing it and doing some other works at Arnos Grove, so they're all stuck up there. And because every train that's going east has to go into Wood Green, you can't run as many trains as you would reversing them at Cockfosters and Arnos Grove. Anyway, Green Park. Another regulation point, we currently have a red signal. And there we go. Quite a busy station, there's quite a few people getting off. Changing for the Victoria line and Jubilee line. So when I'm in Hong Kong, because I'm there for just under 24 hours, I'm staying right near the airport. But one of my viewers pointed out to me that there is a shopping mall. Oh, bear me a moment. They just throw their arms in the door. Yeah, not far from the airport, so I'm hoping it's walkable and I can have a walk round there. Because I'm only there for the one day, I'm not planning on taking loads of Hong Kong dollars with me, you know, probably take a few pounds worth just for something to eat, and that's about me lot. But it'd be nice to have a walk around. If I do, I might take you with me. Hong Kong has been on my list of places to visit. For this visit, it was a toss-up between Hong Kong and Singapore. Singapore's been on my list for a long while, even just as it would have again just been a one-night stopover, but I want to go and experience the airport, go and see the Jewel and things. But unfortunately, when I actually made my mind up to book the trip, the good flights basically were too pricey, hence why I went with Hong Kong. But I am really looking forward to it. 13 hours in economy, after travelling down 4.5 hours from Edinburgh on the train as well, I think I might be a little bit tired and grumpy. Anyway, Hyde Park Corner, 25 mile an hour speed limit. Yes, I'm looking forward to Cathay Pacific. It's an airline I've wanted to try. Of course, they're part of One World, and because I've got One World status with British Airways, I've been able to get things like book my seat for free, luggage, lounge access, and that's with me booking their cheapest ticket, so I get sort of those free things. But Cathay Pacific used to be classed as a 5-star airline. There's some mixed reviews online about how good they are since the pandemic. I think, like a lot of countries and a lot of airlines, they've struggled financially, so it will be interesting. I don't expect too much from the plane. I expect it to be very similar to Virgin, BA, American, but I do sort of expect service and the food to be good quality, so it will be interesting. Mile an hour speed limit here on the left as we come into Knightsbridge. So, at the time of recording this, it is the 27th of August. The new 24 stop trains, to my knowledge, have not arrived yet. I've not seen a date. They just said late summer, so I'm not sure quite when that's going to arrive. Sorry, I'm just checking the monitors. Yeah, I'm not sure when that's going to arrive, ready for testing. But I'd imagine the testing will be for probably 6 months or more. And then hopefully sometime in 2025 we'll be able to use them in passenger service. Of course, we'll need training first. There's been no mention of when training will start, but if they do the training too early, by the time you come to drive them, you'll need to do the training again. So I would imagine, if I was a betting man, let's say we have them in service from spring next year, or start to get them, then I'd expect to start getting trained probably towards the end of the year, early next year. But of course, it could be sooner than that, because I do get asked that a lot. These yellow flashing lights on the ground, that's for a temporary speed limit of 15 miles an hour as we go around South Ken Bends, or South Kensington, if you're not sure what I'm referring to. So the new trains are going to be more computerised than these trains. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. Unfortunately, like with modern cars, I know what computers can be like when they go wrong. At least with these old trains, hit them with a hammer and generally you can get them moving. So it is downhill as we go towards South Kensington. There should be one signal left as we go round to the right, and it's the platform after that. So I can see the reflection, so I know we're clear into the platform. That's the last signal just there. So I get asked whether the station lighting affects me from going dark to light. No, the lighting's pretty soft. It's a bit different when you go from bright sunlight into the dark and vice versa. That can, I wouldn't say blind you, but yeah, you can struggle to see for a few seconds. It's why I prefer to drive at night. You don't have them problems then. And you can see all your mirrors, monitors and signals better, because you can see the reflections. So the flashing lights, if you saw them on the ground, that's for the end of the speed restriction, or the temporary speed restriction. We've got a 30-mile-an-hour permanent speed restriction, but that ends just after this signal. These trains can't get up to that speed, so before it ends, so we haven't really got to worry. Actually, this one's not doing too bad. The speed ends just here on the right, and this is doing about 28. We've got a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up to go around the corner. We go around to the left and then right into the platform at Gloucester Road. So 25 mile an hour is just here on the right hand side, just before the signal. Round to the left and then round to the right. So we have one more station after this within the tunnel section, and that is Earl's Court. No, I'll do that later because I'm getting off Acton Town for my break. Because they have to give us travelling time to get from Cockfosters, for me, because I'm a Cockfosters driver, down to Wood Green and back again, we're not doing as much driving as we would normally, if you was unsure. So for argument's sake, I booked on, I forget the exact time, sometime just after 5 o'clock, and I picked up at around 8:10. When I finish, I've got about an hour and 1 minute or something from the time I get off my train to my finish time. So Earl's Court is coming up. This is the last signal within the tunnel, last station. I'm going to stand up, put that in my bag. So we're going to be going uphill. We've got a 30 mile an hour speed limit and then a 25 mile an hour speed limit before hopping out into, and let's see what time it is. Yeah, it won't be bright sunshine. It's about 10 to 8 or, no, 10 to 9, so 8:50, 8:52 according to my watch. So we're just doing 30 mile an hour. The 30 mile an hour speed limit is just coming up on the left, just here. I'm pointing, not that you can see what I'm pointing at. .25 mile an hour speed limit is just after this next signal, and the track goes slightly round to the left. So I'm just letting it roll up. I might need to give it a little bit of brake. Yeah, I'm going to brake a little bit to bring it down to 25. There we go. Now I'm going to let the speed drop down to about 20 miles an hour. And as long as I've got clear signals, I can go into full speed or parallel, and it should pass the signal 24, 25 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm doing 20 now. Wind up, it takes a few seconds for it to kick in. The speed limit terminates just before this signal, and we pass it doing 24 miles an hour. So we're just about to pop outside. That's a bit darker than I expected, actually. But I suppose winter is almost upon us, or autumn. You think in 3 months' time we would have had Christmas, as it's 27th of August today? 4 months, I can't count. Yeah, 4 months. Good job I don't work in a calendar factory. So this not in use sign you would have seen, that will be the new stopping mark for the new trains. As I keep getting asked about them. So the sign is not in use. Someone asked me what isn't in use, so the sign's not. So I don't know whether that's a cover or they'll stick a cover over it that shows where we need to stop. Barron's Court, by the way, I realised I didn't tell you. Next stop is Hammersmith, and then we're going to run fast down to Acton Town, where I'm going to get off. And as I think I explained earlier, I'm going to have my break at Acton Town, then I pick up my next train at Northfields. I will just double check that, rather than have my break at Northfields. So I'll head down to Northfields then a little bit early, so I probably won't film, so if there's a gap between Acton and Northfields, that's why. mph temporary speed limit. You just see the flashing lights. Into the platform. So I'm just checking I've put the right code in and getting a mint. So next stop is Acton Town, which means we run fast through some stations. So we're going to run fast through Rovers Court Park, Stamford Brook, Turnham Green and Chiswick Park. So the track to the left is the westbound local, so that's what the district runs on. That stops all stations towards Ealing Broadway and Richmond. We're in the fast, so after 10:30 at night we would stop at Turnham Green in both directions, and there's a time in the morning, but as I don't do mornings I can never remember the time. So yeah, we're in the westbound fast because we're running fast. Although we can stop at these stations if we're asked to, with the exception of Chiswick Park. We can't stop at Chiswick Park in either direction, and we can't stop at Stamford Brook in the eastbound direction, purely because there's no platform next to the running rails. So this is Ravenscourt Park. 45 mile an hour is our maximum speed limit. There is no speed restriction down here unless they put a temporary one in, so we can do 45 if the train can do it. I mean, at the minute it's doing about 33. Stamford Brook, just coming up. There's a train, Piccadilly line train to Wood Green. We've got a clear signal through Turnham Green, just doing about 41 miles an hour. So just going to let it roll through the station. Making sure there's no one near the edge where they shouldn't be. What you find is people are on their phone or got their headphones on and they're not always paying attention. But not today. So the next station is Chiswick Park that we can't stop at, and it's because the platforms are too far to the left and right, and we're running basically through the middle. On the westbound fast and obviously eastbound fast if we're going the other way. We used to be able to run on the local line, but they've taken the points out at Hammersmith. Can't remember, a couple of years or so ago they took them out, and I believe they've taken them out so that District can start running at some point automatic down here. At least that's as far as I'm aware. And we've just passed a engineering train. Sorry, I'm nagging away and I didn't even notice it. Although I have uploaded as a short on here and on TikTok an engineering train passing through Wood Green that one of my colleagues sent me. Unfortunately I had to put music over it. Let's just say some of the language could not be aired on the internet. So as soon as we get into the platform, because I'm getting off, I will switch you straight off, and then we will pick up the action ready for when I'm ready to pick my next train up, either at Acton or Northfields. So I've just got one signal left with the looks of it. We're going into the fast. Oh, two signals are still red. No, just, we're all green now. So it's 20 mile an hour speed limit. I always slow down before, because when you come across the points it's a little bit rough. So the points are just here. We can go into the local, which would be 15. We're into the fast. I'm doing about 19, and the 20 mile an hour speed limit is just coming up on the left here. Personally, I think it should be further back, but that's me. So this is Acton Town. We'll pick up the action on my second half. Hello and welcome back to, well, not back to, we haven't been here, welcome to Northfields. So I'm just waiting for my train, and I wrote out the people's names who wanted to shout out that I could find. So hello to Jane Rogers, lovely to have you with us. Post that a bit. Tony Berry from Australia, hello. Now I haven't got this person's name, but they've got a YouTube channel, you should check it out, and it's Clydebridge Station, so check that out and hello to them. Also Sean from Dublin, sorry I'm looking away from the camera, I'm reading, and Danny from Yorkshire. I think that's everybody who's asked me for a shout out, so if I've forgotten your name, I apologise, message me again and I'll try and get it into another video, but hello to all of you, it's great to have you here. So I've got, let's have a look, about another 10-12 minutes before my train arrives, so I'm just going to chill out and I'll see you on the front. So I'm just waiting for my train, it says 2 minutes away. That one sits there for about 15 minutes and then goes eastbound to Wood Green. I always find I struggle with thinking about what I'm doing after a break. But anyway, so down to T5, Wood Green, job done. Right. Let's get you straight. Let's put my code in first. There we go, and I think I'm ready to go. We've got the green, you probably can't see it where you are, but I can, and that's all that matters. So this is Northfields, westbound local. I've got the door open, so there will be a little bit of wind noise. Trust me, the wind isn't coming from me. Probably. So down to T5. I don't think we've done a T5 in a while. A few, probably 3-4 weeks, maybe a bit more. So it will be interesting. What I'll do is I think, oh excuse me, apologies. I think I will split this video at the sidings in Wood Green. No. We try this again. Split this video at the sidings at T5. So you've got about an hour or so, a little bit over on the first half. And then when I'm changing ends, I'll change the battery and then we'll run it back to Wood Green. So you've come with a full day. I should get relieved on the platform, so shouldn't be going into the sidings at Wood Green, but a lot can happen. I think I've only got one more driving duty at the moment, which I think is Friday off the top of my head, whilst we've got these engineering works. So I will let me get stopped and then we'll natter. There we go. Yeah, so I will aim, depending what I'm doing, so I haven't looked yet, I will aim to record that as a full day's duty again, because they're not so easy to do when we're back to normal, because there'd be like 7 hours of filming and it's just too much and too much to edit. But we'll see how things go. A lot can change. In fact, the videos are out of order. I've put the first Wood Green video, or 2-part video, up. I'm probably going to put this up straight after, but there should be a video I filmed actually a few weeks back going to Uxbridge, but I thought as we've got the engineering works on, I would show you as we're doing them, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll probably put the Uxbridge the following week. So if I make reference into a future video going, oh, the video last week I did this, technically it's not accurate. But never mind. So we're running down now, we've just done Boston Manor. Osterley, bit of a rundown. 45 mile an hour is our speed limit, or maximum speed limit. I'm doing just under 40 at the moment. Down to Terminal 5, and then we've got, how long we've got? About 20 minutes from assuming we arrive on time, we've got 20 minutes from arriving on the platform to detrain, into the sidings, back out and then depart. When normally we would only sit there for about 14-15 minutes, but we're not running as many frequent trains. Just to give you an idea. Something I've said before, I prefer to drive at night. As you can probably see, signals, if you look down at the track, I know these signals are right in front of us, you can often see the reflection of the signals on the track round bends and things, so it's so much easier to see what's happening when you actually physically can't see the signal. That's why I like it. So this is Old Osterley, or Osterley and Spring Grove station, just passing through the platform. Not much to see at this time of night, but basically 2 empty platforms. And I should really start braking. Well, I have done, but there we go, Osterley. The next train behind us is Terminal 4, and that's I think that's at 8 minutes behind. So this is now step-free access. They was put in last 2 or 3 years. There's a lift or an elevator either side. There's a funny smell. Hope that's not me. Not quite sure what it is either. Anyway, you lot can't smell it. You lot, sorry, my online passengers can't smell it, and that's really all that matters. Hounslow East on the west is next. So we've got 3 Hounslow stations. This one's lit up, it's got lots of little lights under the platform. You watch, they won't be on now. Again, it's a step-free access. There are lifts both sides, or 1 lift either side.
Line information with the customer service update. Jubilee line 1.
Oh, yeah. Right. So station starters on. It is a regulation point, so we can be held here. To be honest, I didn't look if we left Northfields late on. It's cleared, so it's irrelevant. There we go. Thought I could hear fireworks. Can't see any, mind you. Is everybody off? It's quite a long DVA, digital voice announcer, telling mind the gap, etc. But we're out of here. Hounslow Central is next, which is an island platform. No step-free access though. Oh, I can smell the takeaways. And I put on half a stone just by smelling it. That's no good. Although I was healthy, I had a banana for my on my break. There's a choo-choo. Surprisingly, going to Wood Green. So this station starter is red. It's always red. Generally, no, it's changed now. It's actually changed. Yeah, normally you're a bit closer before it stops, before it changes, but doesn't really matter. We can reverse off this platform. If I was to do that, I would literally just shut down, change ends and go the other way. It's as simple as that. Everybody off? Anyone want to go to the airport? No? I had quite a long break. It was about an hour and 20 minutes, and I'll be honest, it's made me very tired. Hounslow West on the west is next. We're going to head down into a tunnel. We're going to pop out the tunnel to go over the River Crane and then back into the tunnel down towards Hatton Cross and Heathrow. The signal ahead is always red. If it's going to change, when you hear a thump, it should change. There you go. But I was braking anyway, just in case. Especially when it's wet. If you leave it just a couple of seconds late and that stays red, you might struggle to stop. I don't know if you heard the thud as it changed, but now the other advantage of driving at night is I can see what's going on the platform at this station. When you come down here in the day and it's bright sunshine, you can't see. There could be someone on the track and you wouldn't see them until you were basically just inside the tunnel because it's too bright outside. So now I can see the whole tunnel, or the whole platform I should say. So that's why you should never get down on the track. You never know whether a driver can see you or if they can stop, even if they can see you. If you drop something, go see staff. So I'm just closing the door, putting the air conditioning on. Yeah, it's not worth risking your life to go and fish out a mobile phone or a hat or something stupid. All it takes is one slip and that's the end of that. Anyway, let's be more cheerful when the DVA finishes. There we go. Oh, this time next week, I should be in the air. I think it's about, my flight to Hong Kong's around 8:30 in the evening or something. So going in this direction, which is the westbound, this is really smooth. You can do 45 miles an hour if your train will allow it. It's lovely and smooth. In the opposite direction, it's really rough, and really you want to be doing no more than 35. Even less on some trains. 30, 35, otherwise you're just going to be throwing everyone off their seats. But this way is lovely. We've got one more signal just before the end of this little tunnel section, then we pop out, up over the river and back in. So there, I don't know if you can see it yet, but there's a green just ahead. You have to be careful with this signal. If a train's coming the other way, it will block your view. So if you don't know it's there, you could get caught out. So we're going to come out, as I've said, over top of the River Crane and back into the tunnel. The signal Whiskey Whiskey 11 Alpha, which is just inside the tunnel mouth the other side of this hill, is always red. Now, because we're going uphill, we're going to have to come back down the hill, so you do have to be very careful, especially in the wet. that if that signal doesn't change, if you're going too fast, you're just going to go straight through it. You're going to have the train pushing you down the hill as well. So in theory, when we get to roughly that yellow signal, if it's going to change, that's generally where it does. But if you've got a train reversing off the platform or in the platform, it won't change. So I'm doing 15, it's changed, and the next signal's changed, which is Whiskey Whiskey 11 Bravo. So we're clear into the westbound platform at Hatton Cross. Yeah, so that one, always red. Well, they're both always red. This next one, even though we've just got a green, you can get the routing indicator into the opposite platform to reverse. But we don't have to worry today. We have loads of time. We've got about 9 minutes before we're due into Terminal 5. So we've just gone over the top of the points now. Oh, there's more points just here, as you might just be able to make out. And that's because we could just change ends in the platform and go back eastbound. We can do the same at Terminals 2 and 3 as well. Works exactly the same way. You can go into either platform and reverse. Or change ends, go back, however you want to look at it. Which I have featured. I have done it both here at Hatton Cross and at Terminals 2 and 3. Now, did I fill out my book? No, I didn't. So I think I've explained, I always write down the train I'm doing, the duty I'm doing, and the leading car number. If I'm driving both ends, I'll write both ends down. That way, if they ever come up to me, whether it's tomorrow, next week, next month, and say, this train was involved in an incident, you know, you were driving it, I can look back and say, yes I was, or no I wasn't. You just never know when you need that. Because I can say, okay, yes, I was driving, this is train 225, but what was the cab numbers? And then I can check and say, well, I was driving 225, but I wasn't driving that train. Because even though this train is 225, that number could change. Where the leading cab number is, was it 141, I think it was, will always stay the same, regardless of what number the train is. So at least I can say, yes, I was driving train 225. What was the leading cab number? No, I was on train leading cab number blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm robbiting on. So the signal that's changed, that's always red as you come along. It's quite a long distance, so even though I usually say a red signal is a red signal and stop at it, this one is such a long distance away that you can afford to just not do that, assuming you know where it should change. We're going to pass in a moment. I'm not sure if it's an escape shaft or a ventilation shaft, and then we're going to start braking. We'll see two repeaters, which is two yellow signals. I think it's ventilation shaft actually, and then there'll be a red. We've got two red signals before the platform at Terminals 2 and 3. So if my memory serves me, if we're doing much more than about 20 miles an hour after this yellow, this signal won't change. So I'm doing 15. If it doesn't change, I can stop. It's changed. I'm going to wind up a bit. The next one is a routing indicator, which can send us into the eastbound or westbound. So we've got it into the westbound. There's a 25 mile an hour speed limit just past that as we go across the points. So you probably see the routing indicator a bit clearer on that. If we was going into the eastbound, obviously we'd have lights to the right. This might be lit up better, you might be able to see the points a bit better. So if we was going into the eastbound, basically we'd go straight on here, but we're not, we're going to the left. Into the westbound platform. And again, we can reverse off this platform. Just change ends, wait for the signal, and off you go. problem you get here is people on the opposite platform see a train and they don't check and just assume it's for central London. Right, I've got to get off my rear end. Have a mint. Next and final stop for this service is Heathrow Terminal 5. I need to put my gloves on because I don't want to get my handy pandies dirty because I'm a delicate little flower. Right, we've got a 35 mph speed limit coming up. As we go left down the hill, you'll see in a moment. In this direction we cannot go straight on. Trains from T4 would come in front of us and could come basically the way we've just come to go into that platform, which I've only ever done once. But for us, we could not go straight on. Downhill and then back up towards the platform at Terminal 5, which means we're going to go into the sidings. We've got two sidings. We'll either get a number 1 or a number 2. Number 1 is 21 sidings, number 2 is 22 sidings, which I have featured on this channel before, but just in case you haven't seen them, well, you will today. I'm sorry that I can see the cameras moving slightly. I need to tighten up the screw to stop it moving. So I'll do that when I'm changing ends and change the battery. So yes, apologies for that. So we're going uphill now. There is a red signal just behind this green. I'm doing about 20 miles an hour. Just giving it a little power, not too much, just so it doesn't lose any more speed. That signal in a minute, it's got 2 repeaters, should change. There you go, it's just changed. So we're still going uphill, so I'm going to put a bit more power on. We've got 25 mph speed limit. No, we haven't. We've got a it's 15, isn't it? I haven't been down here for so long. Yeah, it's 15. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright. We're now approaching Heathrow Terminal 5, where this train will terminate. All change, please. All change. Last signal is just down this down the side here under the platform. And we are about 10 seconds late. That's all. I can live with that. So when we stop, I'm going to switch you off whilst I go and detrain, and then well, yes, I'll see you when we go into the sidings. That was quick. Station staff did the back 3, I did the front 3. So if you look to the top right hand of the screen, you'll see a metal cabinet next to the mirror, and that's our shunt signal. So we ignore this red on the left, and we've got the shunt signal into 22 sidings. Yeah, so I've got, I think I said there was 20 minutes turnaround time here, which is longer than usual. So I'd actually would like to have detrained myself, just for the walk. But whenever you're running late, they're not there to help you, and when you want the walk, they're there. But anyway, so 21 sidings would be this one on the left, we're going 22. So on that grey cabinet we had the shunt, which is it's a digital shunt. So it's like a white circle with a red line through. Once that sort of turns, so the line is at a diagonal, and it gives us a number 1 or 2, so 2 for 22. There was a speed control train stop there, which I forgot to point out, and we're going to stop on this diamond on the floor, basically with the cab doors on the boarding platform. Just like that. That wants to go in that pocket, that wants to go in that pocket, that wants to go over my shoulder, air conditioning off, take my key out. Well, I better take you with me, hadn't I? Oh, come on. How'd you get? Check I'm shutting down properly. That'll be embarrassing. I did once, many years ago, I left my key in, which means when I got to the other end I couldn't open the door. Anyway, I think, like I said, I'm going to split the video here. So thank you very much for watching part 1 of this video. Part 2 will be from the sidings here up to Wood Green if everything goes according to plan. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and take care.